Cinema Classics is sponsored by the Gateway Film Center and is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to shows online at wcbe.org. I'm John DeSando.
I'm Johnny DiLoretto. This is Cinema Classics.
Yeah, it is.
I think we're the only movie discussion program that actually cares and or devotes any airtime to the National Film Registry's yearly entrance.
I don't think anybody knows it exists.
I don't either. So 2021, the Library of Congress has entered into the National Film Registry 25.
25 every year.
25 every year, 25 movies, dating from 1902 to 2008.
Right.
I'm just curious how many of these you've seen.
Well, there are 800 some in their registry.
Total, okay.
Yeah, total. And I've probably seen 10.
Yeah, they do. You know what I love about it is that a glimpse of it. You know, you can get a cross section of film history by any one selection.
Yes, and you're right, because they
I mean, any one year rather.
yeah, but because they do say cultural, historic, or aesthetic importance.
Yeah.
Because
So-
some of these aren't what we would have called Class A films.
They're definitely not all instantly recognizable
Right.
mainstream films, which is what I love about the film registry.
I know.
Because you'll get silent films, you'll get experimental
Yeah.
films, you'll get low budget, like you said, culturally significant
Yeah.
films, and then alongside of some well-known titles.
And this year, for instance, is very heavily cultural.
Okay.
There's a lot of people of color here.
Okay.
And they're clearly emphasizing that, which
Well,
I don't find a problem.
Probably making up some lost ground for
Yeah.
decades of ignored films.
One that I loved years ago was called Sounder, and it was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
With just Cicely Tyson, I think.
Cicely Tyson, is that the one with John Voight as well?
I don't
or
know
no,
that.
what am I thinking?
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, so I'm saying that, and there are a couple of very old ones, turn of the century stuff, that are people of color. So yeah, I mean, I can see what their emphasis is this week. Although Lord of the Rings and Wall-E,
Yeah.
don't see anything color
What
about
do you-
that.
Star Wars,
Oh,
Return of the Jedi.
I know.
And I mean, that's a really, I'm assuming that the other two are in there. Star Wars, the
this-
original, and then Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I don't know that. Return of the Jedi had the most popular vote. Apparently, they take a popular vote as well as their experts
Okay.
to.
Popular vote, who?
I don't know.
Who
They don't
who
say
poll?
who's the popular voters, but the Return of the Jedi was the biggest one in all of the Star Wars. So anyway,
Okay,
but anyway,
interesting.
yeah.
What is your favorite film on this list?
I'm so afraid because I know what yours is. So that's a really good question because there's so many interesting ones here, and I have to say, just looking at it very quickly, you're gonna laugh at this
No,
one.
why? Go ahead.
Wall-E.
Wall-E. Okay.
I think that is one of the cutest animations with so much cultural baggage in it. I mean,
It is a really interesting movie, and it 2008.
yeah.
It was one of those, Pixar on their roll.
Yes.
They've just been on an incredible roll. Wall-E is, it's romantic, it's comical. It functions almost as a silent film.
Yeah, it
For-
does. You're right. The first
For much of its runtime,
Right.
it's just Wall-E, no English speaking sounds at all.
And you can guess if you haven't seen it. There's certainly a lot about our garbaging the world, and also about a lonely guy who just like human beings needs some kind of love, some
Right.
kind of affection, some kind of connection.
Company. He's alone.
Yeah,
He's alone on the planet.
Yeah.
The other thing I really love about Wall-E, which I think some people have taken issue with of late,
Okay.
is the third act, which is where you see the depiction of what human beings might be like in the future. And they are amorphous blobs, basically infantilized
Yes,
blobs
thank you,
who
yes.
are just catered to. They don't walk or exercise, they just float around in these hovercrafts that carry them and feed them. They're just big babies. And can't you see a little bit of that reflected in our current culture?
Oh, without question, it's so prescient in many ways, and that's why we haven't even cataloged all the possibilities of it. These people are brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking over the whole 25,
Yeah.
and I'm guessing that The Long Goodbye is your favorite.
Well, you're not guessing that. I told you that. I love The Long Goodbye. This is the 1973 Robert Altman
Yeah.
movie starring Elliot Gould as Philip Marlowe.
Yeah, yeah. Is this before MASH? After? I'm trying.
This is after MASH.
This is after MASH,
This is
okay.
after. And what I really love about this movie is at the time when it came out, it was sort of dismissed as an Altman flop. There was some issue taken with this kind of portrayal of Philip Marlowe, who was traditionally portrayed by, Bogart types.
Sure.
And this kind of wishy-washy, sort of lackadaisical Elliot Gould take on the character was seen as almost like a slap in the face to the historical portrayals of Philip Marlowe.
And as I remember, he had some morals about him.
He does, but he also, I think people missed, they missed what was obvious about it, which is this was Philip Marlowe. He is very much like Philip Marlowe, sort of, hangdog. He is cynical. He doesn't care. He's seen the worst of people, and that's a reflection of it. His personality is a reflection of that. It's a very smart, very funny, oftentimes very meta Hollywood movie about the making of films. You have Sterling Hayden in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who had just recently, been vindicated for being blacklisted by the House Un-American Activities
I
Committee.
love Sterling Hayden.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's a fun movie. It's one of those classic LA noir films where you get a real sense of place and time. It kind of makes you want to visit that era.
Isn't it funny how Hollywood provides that background so perfectly? I'm thinking of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There's just something that happens in that when you set it in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're true to the Hollywood aesthetic and its cultural importance and its morality, when you get all that together, it works. It works really. And you're right. This one has, it seemed, as I recollect, a lot of characters. Tough to keep track of.
It does. It's not tough to keep track of if you visit it.
Okay.
But it is. You're right. There are a lot of characters. Philip Marlowe is weaving in and out of these big personalities. And again, he provides the counterpoint to that, which is he kind of seems nonplussed by any and everything and everyone.
Yeah, I do. I love his character for that.
There's a lot of other great movies, though.
Well, here's let me offer you something
Yes, go ahead.
that I discovered looking at this. We have Who's Afraid of Baby Jane? Is it?
Whatever happened.
Whatever to Baby Jane, and they call this the Psycho Biddy subgenre.
Psycho Biddy.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. So there's Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Yes.
And then what else falls?
Well,
into that
there's got to
category?
be something with those two actresses.
Oh, Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what else falls into that
I never
category.
thought about it more. You could, but anyway, I knew you would love that Psycho Biddy.
Well, let's wrap this up for Cinema Classics. There
Oh,
are plenty
my
of
gosh,
classics.
geez.
Plenty of classics on this
Wow.
list. You should visit it. We are going to talk more about some of the movies on the admitted to the list
Yeah.
this year on Double Take.
Oh, that's the place.
That's all you got to do
All
is
right.
go to WCBE.org and go to the podcast experience page, find Double Take, and then you'll hear the full conversation over there.
I'm in.